Hello, today we shall be talking about The Flash Season 7 premiere, All Wells That End Wells. I believe that's the title of it, but pretty much was originally episode, I want to say, 20 of Season 6, but because of the pandemic and all that, it actually couldn't happen, so they ended up waiting, and it was almost a full year hiatus before they actually came back to the air and all that. But anyway, without further ado, shall we begin? Just a forewarning, this video will contain spoilers. So, episode 1 of season 7, All Wells That End Well. This is probably how I'll be doing review videos now. I find it much easier than just standing in front of the camera. I find it much more just easier with the chair, so I can actually just look at like the notes I took throughout the episode and actually talk about the episode like with you guys. But anyway, the name of it is actually All Wells That End Well, and the episode actually opens up with Chester P. Runk, I believe that's his name. It opens up with him in the Star Labs and all that, because Cisco is not in this episode, Caitlin is not in this episode, and Ralph is not in this episode. We know why Ralph is not in this episode. The actor was actually fired from the show because of old resurfaced tweets and comments and like tweets that he made. So pretty much when the scene opens up, we see Chester just kind of like just staring at the computer and all that, and then we hear about like there was a sighting of Eva McCulloch, which was still the villain of the last season, but had to be put on hold. Well, like her story would have ended in the last episode, in the season finale of 6, if like the COVID didn't happen and all that. So her story kind of has to be brought over. I want to say I read something saying it's until episode 3, but I could be wrong about that. But I believe it's episode 3 of season 7. But anyway, there's a sighting of her, and Chester actually opens up the sleeping area, where it's actually used to be just where Flash's suit is, but it's actually the full-on like Barry sleeping in there. We'll find out because if he sleeps, his speed cryo sleeps, so therefore he's not using it up, because he's only at 1% capacity. And one of the new things that they like the first introduction in this episode was actually the nanotech going around his face into like his mask and all that. So that was really cool. So like the technology is getting more updated and all that. So it was really cool. And then he pretty much chases Eva down, and I've never complained about the special effects before, but you could tell that the special effects were upped again, and they were just like, every year the special effects, they just get better and better with them. But I never really like, they never bothered me anyway to begin with. But anyway, when he was ready to fight Eva is actually able to move faster than him, because he's only at 1% capacity, and he's like, she's like, you're nothing, like you're probably one of the slowest people there is right now to actually come after me. And it was a cool action scene and all that. I enjoyed it. They said that they added an action scene, so I'm kind of curious if that was the actual action scene that they ended it. But pretty much we see Eva's going after people that were associated with Black Hole and all that, and she's killing them off one by one. And then we find out that Eva actually ends up killing Sam Scudder, which is one of the Mirror Masters we saw in earlier seasons. I can't remember what season we saw him in. It might have been 3, it might have been 4, but I fully cannot remember what season we actually saw him in. But she ends up killing him, and then she ends up framing the top as the murderer, and the top ends up going into like custody and all that, and they catch her. And then another thing that happens was Iris and Barry are actually having dinner. Like, there's Big Belly Burger on the table, and then there was a shout out to Clark, because Barry was like, yeah, that pie or whatever it was, Clark told me to get that from Kansas, and he is not wrong. Then all of a sudden Barry disappears, and we find out that Iris is still actually stuck in the Mirror universe, the Mirrorverse, as we've known before from the last season, but they kind of probably just wanted to throw a little reminder at you and all that, because that was still like a lot. And then pretty much we go back to Star Labs, and then the like the particle accelerator, well, where the particle accelerator is in Star Labs. But pretty much the fusion for the artificial Speed Force. What they need is it needs an actual here I wrote down the actual term, organic receptor, but the organic receptor is like it will end up killing the person if they need it. But so therefore, they can't really fund the artificial Speed Force, because therefore by doing that, like, it would actually end up killing Wells. So there was like a thing that would happen, and they're like, what's gonna go on with that? Because I was a little curious. I was like, how are they gonna do it? And Nash is still seeing the other Wells from that we saw before. Like, from the other one, he sees Harry, Sherlock. I didn't write this down. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. A new one, Orson Welles, which I believe was a parody of an actor, but I'm not 100% sure who it was. If you do know who it was, put it down in the comments below. But, like, after, like, Sherlock and all that, so Sherlock, Harry, Orson, Nash was talking to him, and HR, which was from season 3, because he was everyone's favorite standout from season 3. He was, like, probably one of my favorite Wells altogether. So pretty much, when he's talking to them, they tell him, like, you do know this needs an organic receptor. So pretty much for the Flash to run again, Nash Wells must die. And pretty much if Nash Wells die, pretty much all the other Wells die, because of Crisis and all that. All the Wells are technically inside him. So pretty much the next scene was Eva going through files, sees one that's unfamiliar, but she was like, you know what? I'm not going to watch it, and that actually comes into play later on the episode, which is actually the post-credit tag. But I gotta say, this was actually a really, really good episode. It does, like, it did a lot for it. So pretty much, we find out that the Top actually was working with Eva to actually kill Sam and all that, so that was a big twist, because she was actually the brains of the organization, because we found that out when Cecile was actually interrogating her, because like I said earlier, she actually went into custody and all that. So pretty much, I can't talk, we pretty much figure out that Nash is like, what if she uses her photon blast to actually have my, like, multiverse particles actually go into the receptor, so therefore they still get their organic receptor, but they don't actually have to kill me. So they try that, and Barry's like standing there, because Barry would have to actually get the speed back by doing this, and then all of a sudden everything goes wrong, and all the Wells actually end up going into Barry. And this was a really fun scene, because we got to see Grant Gustin play the different versions of Wells throughout the years that we've gotten. So it was really fun seeing Grant Gustin play these versions. It was a good laugh. So, Iris is actually still going nuts inside the Mirrorverse and all that, and, we actually find out she was like, wait a second, no, you are actually doing this to me, and she was like, I will not lose against you. So that was actually, like, really, really cool. She was like, I am not losing to you. And that happened, so it was really, really cool. Good to just see what's going on with Iris in the Mirrorverse and all that. So, after, like, some, cool scenes with, Barry as the Wells and all that, they finally get the Wells out of Barry, and, Nash decides, he's like, okay, it is time for me to sacrifice myself and to, fully just accept my fate. So this was actually a really, really surprise scene in this. So, like, I did not expect this to actually happen. Like, it was huge. It was really, really sad with how they did about it, because every single Wells that we've seen earlier came to say goodbye to Barry. So it was a really, really touching scene, especially if you followed since season 1, because you've got to know all these separate Wells and all that. And it was really, really sad, but a really, really well done scene by giving the organic receptor what it needed. It did effectively kill Nash, sadly, and pretty much killed every single version of Wells, which was, like, it was very, very sad. And, like, that scene did, like, it will make you, like, tear up if you've watched, like, or kept up with The Flash whatsoever, and you got to know every single version of Wells, because Tom Cavanaugh he's such a great actor, the way that he actually gets to portray these characters and the way that, like, he did it. He brings a different flair to every single one. So it was like, it was really, really sad, but it was very, very, very well done. But they did say Tom Cavanaugh will be coming back this season, so I wonder if it's going to be in the form of Reverse Flash, like it's going to be his face and all that again, just taunting him, or maybe, who knows, maybe he'll be playing Godspeed. Guess we're just going to have to wait and find out. But Flash gets his speed back, and pretty much what was happening was there was a bomb on a black hole plane traveling over Central City, and it was gonna explode over Central City because Eva put that bomb on there, and that's the main reason why Wells decided to like sacrifice himself, because it would have blown up the city, killed thousands, and Barry will die once his speed was done healing him, because he was only at 1%. So they, like, in the action scene, they do stop the bomb, and it was like, yay, they stopped the bomb. It was cool. And then the next scene is them mourning Wells, like, pretty much saying, we can't let a sacrifice go to waste. And it was a very, very touching scene, and then that's how the episode ends. And then the post-credit scene opens up with Eva still at the computer, and she's like, you know what? Might as well see what this is. And then she watches it, and it's her death scene from the particle accelerator explosion, which happened way back in season 1, but we knew that it was affecting her because she was the second half main bad of season 6. So she decides to watch the video, and then she actually bounces off the mirror. So she's like, hey, okay, wait a second. And then she decides to rewatch it. And then if you look really, really closely, you can see her, her reflection going in the opposite direction, like something is grabbing her, but she still bounced off of it. So that's when she realizes the real version of Eva actually died, and the version that we got that's the villain is actually the mirror duplicate. So that was actually a huge twist. I did actually not see that coming whatsoever, and I thought it was a really, really cool twist, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with her in the final 2 episodes, because that will be the end of her arc. They already confirmed that. That's not a spoiler. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they do with that. And I really do like the way that they actually set off Nash Wells to the final is like, now run, Barry, run. Like, I thought that was like super, super well done. Like, that's the last line that he should end on. That was just super, super, super well done. I can't say enough good things about how they ended the Wells arc. I really, really thought it was well done, and I really, really enjoyed it. So anyway, that was my review of Flash Season 7, Episode 1, All Wells That End Well. Keep an eye out for my Superman and Lois Season 1, Episode 2 review. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a subscribe so I know to keep making more of these. Let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comments below, and if you have any video requests, let me know what they are down in the comments below. If you like this way that I decided to do reviews now, let me know down in the comments below, or if you want me to go back to the old style. I find this much more easy, and considering I can actually like focus on every single thing that happened in the episode, because usually I watch it the first night, let it air, then the next day I watch it off the app, and I did that's when I write everything down, because the first one I kind of just want to experience it normally, and then I'll write everything down. But anyway, if you want to go back to the old style or keep the style, let me know. Thanks for watching once again, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.